Tell us about the book, how it come about writing it, different stuff like that, how you got involved in general about the Bradley Manning case.
Well, I got involved in this story a very old-fashioned way. An editor put me on the story, and I stayed with it and wrote a whole book because there's so many important issues colliding in this case. The competing risks of extreme government secrecy and leaks and whistleblowers. What power does information really have anyway? The use of solitary confinement, is that the exception or the rule in American punishment? And many other things as well. The laws of war, what are they worth? What do the revelations in the WikiLeaks cables really mean?
So it continues to show, like the Obama administration, the war on whistleblowers. We just saw that case today. I don't know if you heard about that, CIA whistleblower got in jail for exposing torture. So it seems like a trend now with the Obama administration with whistleblowers, even Bradley Manning in general.
That's right. Former CIA agent John Kiriakou was just sentenced today to 30 months in prison. And the judge said that she wished she could send him away for more time. That was just her personal opinion. And the Obama administration has proceeded with 6 uses of the Espionage Act of 1917 to prosecute 6 domestic leakers and whistleblowers, which is twice as many as all previous administrations combined. So there's a real clampdown on whistleblowers and leakers. It's very disappointing because Obama did campaign back in 2008 as the whistleblower's best friend. But there's been very anemic protection of whistleblowers, and there's been a big rush to go out and get them and put them away.
Definitely awesome. So tell us a little more about how long did it take to write the book, the research involved with that, and what came across to you as the most important thing in your book.
Well, I had one major obstacle in writing a book about Bradley Manning, and that's that I had no access to Bradley Manning. In fact, no journalist or writer or reporter has had any access to Bradley Manning. He's not talking to any reporters or corresponding with any reporters, and that's most likely on the advice of his lawyer. I think they want to strictly control the message. Now, none of his family would talk to me. I didn't have the budget to go down to Oklahoma and root around his hometown of Crescent. So my book is really a figure in a landscape. I sketch out the whole panorama of secrecy and security and punishment in the war on terror today. And there's a lot of analysis looking at the deeper meaning of these issues that are all colliding pretty violently in this one case.
Definitely. So anybody, just for people out there to check out the book, where they could find it, on any websites you recommend in getting the book?
Well, for the time being, you can only order directly from the publisher, OR Books. There is a second expanded edition coming out at the end of this March from Verso Press, and that will be available on bookstores. You can find it on Amazon, but I recommend getting it straight from the publisher. It's the same price, and this way the more money goes to a plucky, independent, small press, and less goes to the behemoth of Amazon.
So if you know any updates related to the Bradley Manning case for anybody out there, do you have any recent updates involved with it? Where do you see it going from here right now?
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give a spoiler. I think the whole legal proceeding is just an inexorable, very slow march to a conviction and a sentence of at least 50 years. I am not at all optimistic in the short term. And the judge, the military judge, because it is a court-martial, just ruled that no evidence as to Bradley Manning's motive for these alleged leaks will be admissible as evidence, or the jury, the panel, will be able to take into consideration. That's kind of a blow because the motives of Bradley Manning are very straightforward. He just thought that people should see the truth so we could make better informed decisions as a nation. This is someone who is neck deep in the worst foreign policy disaster since Vietnam, and it should be easily understandable why he would want to get information out. I mean, part of his job was to help round up Iraqi civilians and look into it when the Iraqi authorities were arresting and detaining people for nonviolent political protest, handing out a leaflet about financial corruption in the government. And that's something that really changed his mind about the Iraq War and how the occupation was going, and most importantly about his personal role there and his responsibility as a human being, as an American soldier. And that's what turned him. So I think it's critically important that the motive, and it's a very pure political motive, gets across, because there's all kinds of very prurient speculation as to his motive. And this happens to whistleblowers all the time. When anyone disagrees with the government or any powerful entity, they usually get smeared. Their motives are pathologized, psychologized, and always marginalized. And we see this in Bradley Manning. So much of the mainstream press coverage has been very busy casting him as just some weirdo. He was gay. Maybe that's why he did it. He didn't have a happy childhood. Maybe that's why he did it. You know, there are thousands of gays and lesbians with security clearance in the U.S. military, and only one Bradley Manning who allegedly leaked these things. I think we have to just admit that Bradley Manning's motive was political, and it's too bad that's not coming out in the court-martial.
The allergic reaction of the media, the intellectuals, the law schools, the nonprofits, and the government to WikiLeaks is very strange, given that it has long been part of our American political tradition to have a modicum of transparency and openness.
National security has now become about dumbing down the population. It's actually not to protect the nation's security, it's to protect congressional security, White House security.